Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour. Red alert in India's southern states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Puducherry as cyclone Ditwah inches closer after battering Sri Lanka. India carries out Operation Sagar Bandhu to help. Global airlines race to fix Airbus jets to avert chaos across Asia and Europe. Air India completes reset on over 90% of its operating A320 family aircraft. U.S. reports little disruption. U.S. Navy vehicles patrolled southern Puerto Rico amid Venezuela tensions. Trump says Venezuelan airspace should be considered closed. South American country describes it as colonialist threat. U.S. Secretary of State and other top officials to meet Ukrainian delegation in Florida on Sunday to discuss Ukraine peace deal. President Zelensky warns of most difficult moment in history. And India eyes ODI redemption versus South Africa. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli boost batting lineup. As cyclone Ditwah edges closer to landfall, states across the region are on high alert, bracing for impact while rushing to safeguard lives and infrastructure. Heavy rains continue to lash Tamil Nadu as IMD issued a red alert for 3 districts and an orange alert for 7 others, warning of intense weather conditions over the next few days. Authorities have scaled up rescue and relief preparedness ahead of the landfall. Here's more in the report.
Cyclone Ditwah left behind catastrophic destruction in Sri Lanka. The system is now intensifying over the sea and now heads towards southern India, with landfall expected by early November 30. The impact zone is bracing for very heavy rainfall, gale force winds, and a high risk of urban flooding.
The cyclone storm will continue to move north-northwestwards and reach near North Tamil Nadu, Puducherry coast by 30th early morning. Therefore, under its influence, already the rainfall has commenced along the coastal Tamil Nadu. We are expecting heavy to extremely heavy rainfall at a few places over Tamil Nadu and South Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry also. And this rainfall can lead to localized inundation, flooding.
In Tamil Nadu, the cyclone has already unleashed relentless rain across several districts. The IMD has issued a red alert for 3 districts and an orange alert for 7. Air travel has been hit hard. 54 flights cancelled across the state as weather worsens. Tamil Nadu is now in full preparedness mode with 6,000 relief camps already set up, and 28 teams from the NDRF and State Disaster Response Force have been deployed across vulnerable regions.
Within Tamil Nadu, we have very close coordination with the state authorities, and our teams are deployed. The officers are there on team, and the very close coordination is being maintained with the IMD, also the regional IMD, the national IMD, and we are closely monitoring the situation along with the central agencies like NDMA, MHA, and of course the PMO.
Neighboring Andhra Pradesh also braces for 4 consecutive days of heavy rain from November 30 to December 3, with strong winds expected along coastal districts.
Rains will increase, especially over the coastal districts of Andhra Pradesh, especially over south coastal Andhra Pradesh. Light to moderate rain likely at many places on the first day, and at the most places on the second and third days, and at a few places on the 4th, 5th and 6th days. And it will gradually decrease and cause 1 or 2 places over the south coastal Andhra Pradesh on the 7th day.
And in Puducherry, a red alert is in place. Authorities have urged people to avoid stepping out. Fishermen have been warned not to venture into the sea, and a 60-member rescue team from Arakonam is already on the ground. Schools and colleges have also been shut. As Cyclone Ditwah barrels towards India's southern coast, states across the region are on high alert, racing against time to minimize damage and keep people safe. Bureau Report, DD India.
All right, and my colleague Jay Singh is joining me from Chennai on this. Hi Jay, a very good morning to you. I am seeing an umbrella in your hand. Is it raining heavily there? And what can you tell us as far as the rainfall predictions are concerned?
Well, Siddharth, good morning. The weather is really quite pleasant here. It is only a light drizzle now, but we can't say this will be the case this evening because the weather system, the cyclone Ditwah, is going to approach the coast, closer to the coast by this evening or tonight. And at that time, the weathermen predict that it may rain heavily at one or two places and extremely very heavy rain at isolated places. And overall, it will be a light to moderate rain across the region.
Okay, Jay, any advisory issued by the state authorities as far as Cyclone Ditwah is concerned?
Well, yes, the state government has advised the public not to go out of their residences unless there is a pressing demand, and fishermen have been asked not to venture into the sea till tomorrow at least, till the weather system dissipates. The weather officials forecast that it may get weakened from this evening onwards, and without having any landfall, without crossing the shores, it will move parallel to the coast, and then it will die down on its own, because the more it spends time along the coast, the more weakening it will undergo, due to the reason that it won't get much moisture from the sea surface because it is close to the shores.
Okay.
And NDRF and state SDRF, State Disaster Response Force, they are all on alert to intervene whenever the situation warrants.
Okay, and any update from the weather department, Jay Singh?
Well, the weather department says that the system is going to weaken as time passes by. As of now, it is in the form of a cyclone Ditwah, but it is a slow-moving system. That's what weather officials are predicting. The speed, the pace at which it moves is very, very slow, and therefore it is still a little far off, around 220 kilometers away from Chennai coast.
Okay, since you've just mentioned, Jay Singh, that the landfall will take place either in the evening or in the morning tomorrow, did you have a word with the people there? How aware are they, and what precautions are they taking ahead of the landfall?
Well, the people are very much aware because of the forecast system and the government machinery that is alerted across the state and in the Union Territory of Puducherry. The vehicular movement and the people movement on the roads, as far as I have seen since this early morning, is very, very minimal. One great factor is that today is a Sunday, so the offices and schools are closed, and even if it would have been on a working day, because of the advisories given by the authorities, both the center and the state, the people would have been a bit cautious before venturing out.
Okay, Jay Singh, very quickly, finally, has the state authorities declared holiday for schools and colleges and other government offices for Monday, which is tomorrow, ahead of the landfall?
Well, in most districts yesterday they declared a holiday, but since it is a Sunday today, that the requirement is not there. No specific advisory has been given. But private schools sometimes used to hold special classes for public examination, 10th and 12th standards, because they will be facing public examinations. But they have been advised, not an order, but an advice, not to hold such special classes on a Sunday, especially on a day like this when Ditwah is coming closer. Another important factor is that this Ditwah is not going to make any landfall, no crossing the shores. It is moving parallel to the shore and then dissipate in the sea itself.
Okay, all right. Thanks for the updates, Jai Singh. Thank you so much. We leave it there. Cyclone Ditwah's aftermath continues to trigger severe flooding and landslides in Sri Lanka. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake has declared a state of emergency to respond to the widespread devastation, with the death toll rising to 153, with 191 people still missing. The Disaster Management Centre said that over 7.74 lakh people across all 25 districts have been affected, while over a lakh are sheltered in 798 relief centres. Search and rescue operations are continuing despite heavy rain, damaged road networks and prolonged disruptions to power and communication services. India is extensively carrying out humanitarian operations in Sri Lanka under Operation Sagar Bandhu, with the Indian Air Force providing humanitarian assistance by positioned Mi-17 V5 helicopters in Colombo for swift humanitarian assistance and disaster relief operations. IAF transport aircraft are earmarked for large-scale evacuation of Indian nationals, with multiple missions planned from Trivandrum and Hindon. Alongside evacuation, essential relief material including Bhishma cubes and medical supplies are also being airlifted to support affected communities. The IAF remains steadfast in safeguarding lives and extending timely assistance to our neighbours in need. Indian Navy is also assisting under Operation Sagar Bandhu, with its 2 helicopters rescuing 8 people trapped by severe flooding in Pannala. In total, 4 Indian Navy helicopters are currently deployed across Sri Lanka under Operation Sagar Bandhu, including 2 aircrafts operating from the Indian Navy's aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. Besides, the National Disaster Response Force has mobilized humanitarian assistance and disaster relief in Sri Lanka. C-130 carrying NDRF team left for Colombo this morning. Apart from this, NDRF has already deployed 2 self-contained search and rescue teams to assist in affected regions, while 80 trained rescuers, including 4 canines equipped with specialized tools and resources, have also been sent to the neighboring country. Guided by the neighborhood first principle, NDRF stands shoulder to shoulder with the people of Sri Lanka in this hour of need. Meanwhile, Indian High Commission officials have been assisting stranded Indian passengers at the Bandaranaike airport in Colombo, providing them with food, water and other assistance as severe air disruptions continue. It said Indian passengers can also register themselves at the emergency help desk at Bandaranaike airport. The High Commission is making all efforts to provide assistance to the stranded Indian passengers and is facilitating their travel back to India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will participate in the 60th edition of the All India Conference of Director Generals, Inspector Generals of Police in Raipur in Indian state of Chhattisgarh. On Saturday, the Prime Minister chaired the first day of the conference, where he remarked that the conference witnessed extensive deliberations on different aspects of India's security system. PM Modi underscored that this forum serves as a vital platform to share best practices and innovations in the field of national security. He also wrote on social media platform X, and I quote, "The first day of the DGP-IGP conference in Raipur witnessed extensive deliberations on different aspects of India's security system. This is a great forum to share best practices and innovations in this field," unquote. Thailand's Foreign Affairs Minister Sihasak Puangketkaew has arrived in Delhi on a 4-day visit to India. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randeep Jaiswal welcomed him on his arrival last night, saying that the visit is an occasion to strengthen strategic partnership and enduring civilizational ties. According to a MEA release, the Thai Foreign Minister will hold official engagements in the capital on November 30. On December 1, Sihasak Puangketkaew will meet his counterpart, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, at Hyderabad House for bilateral discussions. The delegation will depart from India on December 2nd, the MEA release added. And still to come on DD India Newshour. Migrants are stranded at a border crossing in Chile. Why? Stay tuned to know. Hondurans go to polls on Sunday in crucial presidential election. Colombian authorities raise alert level for Prasar volcano.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar.
Johar. Arey, it fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
You're watching DD India Newshour. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj. Air India has successfully completed the reset on over 90% of its operating A320 family aircraft that were impacted by European Union Aviation Safety Agency and Airbus's requirement for a software realignment. Air India expects to cover the entire fleet within the timeline prescribed by the EASA, with safety remaining our top priority. Rising to the occasion, the airline worked round the clock to ensure there were no cancellations and the impact on schedule integrity across the network was minimal. Meanwhile, the global airlines scrambled to fix a software glitch on Airbus A320 jets as European plane maker halted hundreds of flights in Asia and Europe and threatened US travel over the busiest weekend of the year. Several carriers on Saturday said they had finished or nearly completed the fix to their fleets. Many reported no impact on operations. The overnight effort by airlines appeared to help head off the worst-case scenario and capped the number of flight delays in Asia and Europe and the United States. All right, and DD India's Jessica Taneja joins us from Delhi on this. Hi, Jessica. Very good morning to you. Jessica, what's your analysis of the global situation, when it comes to Airbus A320 jets? We are hearing that several airlines are trying to fix the problem at the earliest. Jessica?
Right. Airlines are trying to fix that problem at the earliest. You talked about Air India, which said it's already completed 90% of the updates, or 90% of the flights have those software updates. Which now, according to the safety standards globally, has been observed to be that intense solar radiation is leading to certain problems when it comes to flight control, computer data, and that would have potential safety risks. So, pressing on the urgency of the recent incidents that we've seen in the recent past when it comes to flight safety, it has become important for global aircraft and air safety authorities to come up with such measures. Now, if you talk about India, Indigo operates the largest fleet, which is about 200 planes of the Airbus A320. So perhaps if you hear from Indigo, Indigo's officials say that they've nearly completed all the software upgrades. So there shouldn't be much of a problem, except few flights here and there, which could face about an hour or 2 hour delay, but mostly the Indian airlines have been ready to sort of implement those changes and have those software updates in their aircraft in order to ensure smooth travel for people during this season. And you talk about the United States and the West, it's happy Thanksgiving, it's happy Hanukkah, and also Christmas just around the corner. People are traveling, not just within America, but across the world as well. So certainly this kind of disruption, not very timely, many would say, especially the travelers. It could have been done much earlier. These kind of glitches or software updates could have been recognized by Airbus, which has introduced nearly 1,100 of those A320s. So certainly A lot could have been done in advance, but at the same time, looking at the flight safety and what other airline operators need to do, this was on expected lines, but not to create such panic and commotional delays at the airport.
Yeah, definitely, Jessica. We also hope that this gets resolved as soon as possible because it's the festival season and a lot of air travelers are waiting for it. This is developing. We'll keep taking updates from you, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining in. A delegation of senior Ukrainian government officials is traveling to the U.S. for talks with their American counterparts on Sunday about a proposed peace plan to end the conflict in Ukraine. In his post on X, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Saturday that Rustem Umerov, Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council, will lead the delegation. He also added that the objective was to swiftly and substantively work out the steps needed to end the conflict. Umerov has been put in charge of the Ukrainian delegation after the previous lead negotiator, Zelensky's powerful chief of staff, Andrei Yermak, resigned on Friday, hours after anti-corruption detectives searched his apartment, while U.S. officials said that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and U.S. President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner will meet Ukrainian officials on Sunday in Florida. President Emmanuel Macron will host his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky on Monday for talks in Paris. The French presidency announced the two leaders will discuss the conditions for a just and lasting peace, said the official on Saturday as a senior Ukrainian delegation headed to Washington. U.S. Navy vehicles patrolled southern Puerto Rico as the United States increased pressure on Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's government. President Donald Trump said the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela should be considered closed in its entirety. In a statement, Venezuela's government condemned Trump's comments, describing them as a colonialist threat against the South American country's sovereignty and incompatible with international law. The Trump administration has been weighing Venezuela-related options to combat what it has portrayed as Maduro's role in supplying illegal drugs that have killed Americans. The socialist Venezuelan president has denied having any links to the illegal drug trade. Trump has also authorized covert CIA operations in the country. Hondurans go to polls on Sunday to vote in a tightly fought presidential election beset by heated accusations of fraud in one of Latin America's poorest countries. Residents will arrive at the polls to vote in an election that remains a toss-up, with polls showing Nasri Asfura of the Conservative National Party setting a benchmark in the election. Whichever candidate wins a simple majority will govern the country between 2026 and 2030. In addition to the president, voters will elect all 128 members of Congress and thousands of local officials. U.S. President Donald Trump weighed in on Honduras' tightly contested presidential race, backing Asfura, saying he can work with Asfura to counter drug trafficking. Migrants seeking passage through Peru remain stranded at a border crossing in Arica, Chile, as they attempt to leave the country following a Chilean presidential frontrunner's vow to expel undocumented migrants. On 20th of November, Chilean presidential candidate Jose Antonio warned that illegal migrants must leave in the coming months or they will be detained and expelled when he comes to power. The comment sparked the arrival of at least 100 foreigners, mostly Venezuelans, at the border seeking to cross into Peru. On its part, Peruvian President Jose Herry said the country will declare a state of emergency along its border with Chile. The state of emergency will generate tranquility before the risk of migrants entering without authorization. Chilean government authorities ruled out any change in migration flows at the northern border amid the tense situation resulting from Peru's decision to protect its border. Britain's government is set to propose a criminal justice system overhaul next week aimed at cutting a backlog of nearly 80,000 cases that has left thousands waiting years for justice. The Labour government, which has warned the number of cases waiting to be heard could rise by 2028 without action, said the reforms would take forward recommendations from a review conducted earlier this year. A Justice Secretary to outline proposals to modernize courts and speed up cases to put victims front and center. Some hearings are currently scheduled as far out as 2030, and more than a quarter of cases wait over a year, leading many victims to drop out. In rape cases, around 60% of complainants withdraw before reaching trial. Suggested reforms include creating a dedicated division for mid-level offences, reducing the use of juries for minor cases, and allowing judge-only trials in complex fraud matters. However, legal organizations have raised concerns, arguing that limiting jury trials risks undermining a fundamental safeguard. Colombian authorities raised the alert level for the Prasar volcano from yellow to orange on Saturday following a surge in seismic activity and changes in volcanic behavior. However, the Colombian Geological Service said an eruption is not confirmed as imminent. Observations showed an increase in the frequency and energy of earthquakes, along with gas and ash emissions rising more than 1,000 meters. Officials continue to monitor the situation closely and urged nearby residents to remain alert. Prasar last experienced a major eruption in 1977, and since 1827, at least 14 smaller eruptions have been recorded, making it one of the most active volcanoes in the country. Hong Kong begins 3 days of mourning after a devastating high-rise blaze at Wang Fuk Court that killed over 128 people and 200 are still missing. Hong Kong is observing 3 days of mourning with flags lowered and public events toned down as families wait for news of loved ones still missing. Hundreds gathered in silence as Chief Executive John Lee and officials stood in remembrance, offering prayers for the 128 people who lost their lives. In neighborhoods across the city, people have lit candles, placed flowers outside the burned buildings, and comforted grieving survivors. Support centers have been set up to help families identify victims and provide emotional care. Let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. Thousands of military history fans from about 20 countries gathered in southern Czech Republic to reenact the Napoleonic Battle of Austerlitz on its 220th anniversary. The yearly event recalls one of the bloodiest moments of the campaign, where tens of thousands were killed in the battle. French-Lebanese writer Armin Malouf received the 2025 FIL Award for Literature in Romance Languages at the 39th Guadalajara International Book Fair in Guadalajara, Mexico. The FIL jury recognized Malouf's work, calling him as one of the most prominent contemporary French writers. Citizens gathered at El Libertador Air Base in Aragua, Venezuela on Saturday to attend the Industrial Aeronautical Expo Venezuela 2025. The event showcased military aircraft and featured participation from more than 60 aerospace companies. Attendees also experienced technology exhibits, business networking sessions, and institutional conferences designed to promote industry collaboration. And still to come on DD India Newshour. Winter session of India's Parliament to commence from 1st of December. Kashi Tamil Sangamam 4.0 begins from 2nd of December. Stay with us to know about it. "14-year-old Ganika Jakhar earns the title of Fire Girl."
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures, and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative. From current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development, and the ever-evolving world order, DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India. India's voice to the world.
You're watching DD in the Newshour. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj, and a quick recap of headlines. Red alert in India's southern states of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Puducherry as cyclone Ditwah inches closer after battering Sri Lanka. India carries out Operation Sagar Bandhu to help. Global airlines race to fix Airbus jets to avert chaos across Asia and Europe. Air India completes reset on over 90% of its operating A320 family aircraft. U.S. reports little disruption. U.S. Navy vehicles patrolled southern Puerto Rico amid Venezuela tensions. Trump says Venezuelan airspace should be considered closed. South American country describes it as colonialist threat. U.S. Secretary of State and other top officials to meet Ukrainian delegation in Florida on Sunday to discuss Ukraine peace deal. President Zelensky warns of most difficult moment in history. And India eyes ODI redemption versus South Africa. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli boost batting lineup. The winter session of India's Parliament is scheduled to begin on December 1, running until December 19, 2025. Ahead of the session, the government will hold an all-party meeting on Sunday where Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju will meet floor leaders from both houses to seek cooperation for smooth functioning of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Rijiju urged opposition parties to actively participate and contribute to the proceedings, aiming to create a vibrant parliamentary system. The session will cover several important legislations, including bills on nuclear energy, higher education, corporate law, and the securities market. It will also feature a full-day discussion on Vande Mataram to mark 150 years of the national song, highlighting the historical significance of verses removed in 1937 and their connection to the partition of India. The session will also see debates on contentious issues, including the voter list revision exercise in 9 states and union territories. The Kashi Tamil Sangamam 4.0 will formally commence with an inaugural function on 2nd of December 2025 at Varanasi's Namo Ghat with the theme, Let Us Learn Tamil, Tamil Karkalam. The theme underscores the message that all Indian languages belong to one family. The first train left Kanyakumari with 45 delegates on Saturday and will reach on the 1st of December to Banaras. The initiative celebrates the civilizational links and timeless bonds between Tamil Nadu and Kashi. Over 1,500 delegates will participate in a series of knowledge-sharing sessions aimed at fostering deeper understanding of India's diverse cultural traditions. During the 8-day tour, participants from Tamil Nadu will explore Varanasi and nearby regions, including Prayagraj and Ayodhya, gaining immersive exposure to different facets of life in these cultural centers. They will also visit places of religious and historic significance. The National Defence Academy conducts 149th Passing Out Parade in Pune. The parade is referred as one of its most prestigious and emotionally powerful ceremonies. The Passing Out Parade of the 149th course, scheduled on 30th of November 2025. This grand parade marks the culmination of 3 years of disciplined training, academic learning, physical endurance and leadership development that shape young cadets into future officers of the Indian Armed Forces. Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi, addressing the event, echoed Prime Minister Narendra Modi's view that the road to peace lies in honestly confronting and resolving the concerns that arise along the way.
Our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, has said, the path of peace also goes through path. And you embody the path that safeguards peace. And today's spectacular parade has reaffirmed that conviction. Your unbridled josh, impeccable turnout, smart drill, and impressive march past truly reflects the exemplary standards that have defined this academy for over 75 years.
The crew of Indian naval ship Sayadri on Sunday conducted a joint yoga session with Philippine Navy personnel. Taking to post on X, spokesperson of the Indian Navy said the crew of INS Sayadri during port call at Manila, Philippines, conducted a joint yoga session with Philippine Navy personnel, promoting health, mindfulness and reflecting India's message of wellness, unity and harmony. Today marks the birthday of Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, born on 30th November 1858, a man whose quiet genius lit up the invisible waves of radio and the silent pulse of plants. Bose bridged words no one dared connect before. DD India's Sujata Lojap reports.
Jagdish Chandra Bose was one of the earliest modern Indian scientists, and his work brought together physics, biology and deep nationalism in a very quiet, powerful way. Jagdish Chandra Bose was born on 30th November 1858 in Mymensingh, now in Bangladesh, then part of the Bengal Presidency. His father, Bhagwan Chandra Bose, encouraged him to study in a Bengali medium school first so that he stayed rooted to his culture and language. Bose later studied in Kolkata, completed his BSc from St. Xavier's College, and then went to London and Cambridge to study natural sciences. In the 1890s, Bose carried out pioneering experiments on radio and microwave waves, demonstrating wireless transmission of signals over distance well before wireless became commercial. He was the first person to use semiconductor junctions as radio detectors, an approach recognized today as an early step towards modern solid-state electronics. For his work on wireless transmission, the University of London awarded him a Doctor of Science degree in 1896. Later, the global engineering body IEEE honored him as the father of radio and wireless communication. But Bose didn't stop at physics. He turned to living beings, especially plants, to ask whether life is unified across all organisms. He invented a device called the crescograph, which could measure tiny movements and growth in plants, things invisible to the naked eye. Through experiments that measured tiny electrical and mechanical responses, he showed that plants respond to stimuli like light, heat, chemicals, and injury, and that these responses have an electrical basis. Because of this pioneering work, he is often credited with showing that plants also have a kind of life response, changing how humans looked at the plant world. On his 60th birthday, 30th November 1917, Bose founded the Bose Institute in Kolkata, describing it as a place for advancing science and spreading knowledge. Bose was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society in London, one of the highest honours in the world of science, making him one of the first Indians to enter that reputed circle. Government science agencies describe him as the founder of modern scientific research in India, noting that he laid the foundations of experimental science in the country. Today, the Government of India continues to celebrate Bose's work in radio science and plant physiology, and institutions under the Department of Science and Technology carry his name forward for new generations of scientists.
25th November 2025 was marked as a significant cultural and civilizational milestone in the history of India, as on this auspicious day, the main construction work of the Ram Temple was formally completed in Ayodhya, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi hoisted the sacred Dharma Dhwaj atop the temple's spire. This religious ceremony turned to be a magnificent symbol of India's enduring spiritual heritage, a testament to centuries of unwavering faith and cultural resilience. Here's more in the following report.
Ayodhya city of northern India once again witnessed a golden chapter of history on 25th November. The saffron flag was ceremoniously hoisted at Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple with the sound of conch, chanting of mantras and chants of Jai Shri Ram. The entire Ayodhya echoed with devotion and enthusiasm. This is not just a religious ceremony, but a glorious celebration of India's soul, faith and belief. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a unique chapter of the country's cultural history has also been added in Ayodhya, which is the Saptamandir complex, a grand symbol of India's spiritual tradition and social harmony. For the first time in the country, the Saptamandir has given place to those great personalities who were not only associated with the story of Lord Ram, but were living messengers of social harmony, equality and unity. This inclusive thinking is the true essence of Ram Rajya, and the same inclusive policy is the guiding mantra of Prime Minister Modi's efforts as well.
हमारे राम भेद से नहीं, भाव से जुड़ते हैं। उनके लिए व्यक्ति का कुल नहीं, उसकी भक्ति महत्वपूर्ण है। उन्हें वंश नहीं, मूल्य प्रिय है। उन्हें शक्ति नहीं, सहयोग महान लगता है। आज हम भी उसी भावना से आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
Maharshi Valmiki, who rose from the marginalized section of society, wrote the world's greatest scripture, Ramayana. He proved that knowledge is attained through devotion, not birth. Maharishi Vashisht, the guide of righteousness, ethics and balance, gave Sri Ram the fundamental principles of ideal governance and justice. Maharishi Vishwamitra renounced luxury and became a sage from a king. He gave the inspiration that with penance and determination, even the impossible becomes possible. Maharishi Agastya, who guided Lord Sri Ram and connected northern and southern cultural streams, was the bridge of harmony and balance. Nishad Raj, a supreme example of friendship and equality beyond social barriers, proved purity of heart to be the highest truth. Mata Shabri, the invaluable message of love and devotion, whose tasted berries were accepted by Sri Ram like a mother's affection. Devi Ahilya, redeemed by the touch of Sri Ram, proved that a second chance's life is always possible.
यहाँ सप्त मंदिर बने हैं। यहाँ माता शबरी का मंदिर बना है, जो जनजातीय समाज के प्रेम भाव और आतिथ्य परंपरा की प्रतिमूर्ति है। यहाँ निषादराज का मंदिर बना है। ये उस मित्रता का साक्षी है जो साधन नहीं, साध्य को उसकी भावना को पूजती है। यहाँ एक ही स्थान पर माता अहिल्या है, महर्षि वाल्मीकि है, महर्षि वशिष्ठ है, महर्षि विश्वामित्र है, महर्षि अगस्त्य है और संत तुलसीदास है। राम लला के साथ साथ इन सभी ऋषियों के दर्शन भी यहीं पर होते हैं। ये मंदिर हमारी आस्था के साथ साथ मित्रता, कर्तव्य और सामाजिक सद्भाव के मूल्यों को भी शक्ति देते हैं।
The construction of Sri Ram Temple is not merely an effort to restore a cultural identity, but a history of everyone's contribution for a larger cause. The journey of Ram Temple was not only completed with sacrifice, penance and struggle, but also with everyone's participation, efforts and resolve. This temple is a symbol of India's character, where harmony, equality and unity are the soul of Ram Raj. Ram Temple, the glory of the past, the inspiration of the present, and the guiding light for the future. This temple says, when society works together, the nation achieves greatness. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the creation of a new India is not merely a development campaign, but a resolution for harmonious society, equality, and respect for all. Bureau Report, DD India.
And still to come on DD India Newshour. In hockey, India versus Belgium in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup final today. And in London, Christmas dog parade raises awareness for rescue pets. You're watching DD India Newshour. I am Siddharth Bharadwaj, and time now for sport. India will be pitted against South Africa in the first one-day international in Ranchi today. KL Rahul was named captain for three-match ODI series as regular skipper Shubman Gill nurses a neck problem. Rahul has led the ODI side on 12 occasions, winning 8 times and losing 4. India will be bolstered by the return of former captains Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, adding more depth and experience to the side. Rohit Sharma is on the verge of becoming only the 4th Indian batter to cross 20,000 international runs. India will be eager to bounce back after they were whitewashed in the Test series 2-0. On the other hand, South Africa will be confident about their chances. Quinton de Kock, who recently made his international comeback, will be key for the side. Pacer Kagiso Rabada has been ruled out of the match due to injury. In his absence, Marco Jansen, Andre Berger and Ottonel Bartman could play vital roles. All right, and DD India's Narayan Singh joins us live on this from Delhi. Hi Narayan, a very good morning to you. Narayan, to begin with, Indian cricket fans were not at all happy when India lost against the Proteas 2-0 in the Test series on home soil. Actually twisted the text of the history, and now the history book says something different. We were discussing this few days earlier as well, Narayan. But it's the ODI series, first match. What can we expect? What's your analysis?
Siddharth, fresh start for the team India. We know that India, as you mentioned, lost the series, the whitewash against. First time we can say that South Africa whitewashed India, and in the span of the 12 months, India whitewashed back-to-back. So we can say that it was not a flowery picture, but it's a new start, and the veterans Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma are back in the squad. But there will be plenty of selection drama as well as selection problems for the Team India, because as we know that Rishabh Pant is also in the back of things, and also Rituraj Gaikwad is there, but he can't be there at the top of the order because we know that there already we have because Shubman Gill is not playing, so in his absence we will see Yashasvi Jaiswal will open along with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli at the number 3, and number 4 KL Rahul will be there. So the place for Rishabh Pant will be there or not in the team. It depends upon the team management whether they bring Rishabh Pant or Rituraj Gaikwad. It has to be seen. But down the order, there is also, we can say that selection, how they bring their bowlers in the playing 11. Especially if we take a look in the bowling department, always we have seen Gautam Gambhir want more than 5 bowlers. If you take a look right now, we have a fantastic set of pace bowlers, especially Prasidh Krishna. We will see there, Arshdeep will be there, a fantastic. We can see in the 3 matches Arshdeep has played against South Africa, but his record is fantastic. In 3 matches, he has taken 10 wickets. So I think he will be there. And apart from that, there is, because our vice captain and that is Suresh Iyer and the captain Shubman Gill both are not playing. So in place of the number 4 plays that Suresh Iyer plays, whether they will give a chance to someone else or not, it remains to be seen. But a big opportunity for the Yashasvi Jaiswal, because we know that he's a one-format player for India right now. And we know the talent, what kind of talent he possesses. Hopefully, he will try to grab this opportunity.
Definitely a big opportunity for Yashasvi Jaiswal. The first ODI match between India and South Africa of this series. Narayan, thank you so much. We'll leave it there. The Indian hockey team will face Belgium in the Sultan Azlan Shah Cup final in Ipoh City of Malaysia today. India entered the final in emphatic fashion after beating Canada by an overwhelming 14-3 scoreline in their final group stage match. Defender Jugraj Singh was India's leading scorer with 4 goals. The Indian team, who returned to the tournament after a gap of 6 years, became the first team to qualify for the final. On the other hand, Belgium remained unbeaten in the tournament. In the league match, they defeated India 3-2. The tournament, which featured 6 teams in a round-robin format, will see the top 2 teams battle it out in the summit clash. India picked up their second straight win in men's FIH Hockey Junior World Cup after defeating Oman 17-0 in Chennai. Arshdeep Singh, Manmeet Singh and Dilraj Singh scored hat-tricks, while Ajit Yadav, Gurjot Singh and Luang Ingalamba grabbed a brace each. 5 of India's goals came from penalty corners, while Sharda Nand Tiwari converted a penalty stroke. The remaining 11 goals came from open play, and India currently top Group B by virtue of a superior goal difference. They will make quarterfinals directly as the pool winner if they avoid a loss against Switzerland in their final Group B match on Tuesday. Dozens of dogs dressed in colourful Christmas-themed outfits paraded through London on Saturday, bringing festive cheer while raising funds and awareness for 2 rescue dog charities. The event, now in its 2nd year, shines a spotlight on the challenges rescue animals face and the need for greater global awareness. Have a look. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Newshour.